What's going on, gamers? You know I saw this and had to react to it. So since Gears of War is now on the PS5 Pro, it is the greatest thing ever. Are we ready? You know, you guys know me. I love this franchise, and I will eventually be getting onto this game. He's definitely hyping up, but it gets funny because it's like, damn, you're being like this because of the PS5 Pro, and it's funny because it's about the PlayStation and Gears. Now it's amazing if you get what I mean, right? Hypocrisy of ponies, y'all. Hope y'all enjoying Helldivers, and if you're on Gears, hope you're enjoying that. If you're on Metal Gear, hope you're enjoying that. I forgot that came out. I'm like, dude, there's too many games out. Good lord. And then like I said, we got the Shinobi game coming. Then we got Lost Soul Aside coming. Then we got the freaking new Hollow Knight coming, and it just does not stop. So I'm trying to think how I'm gonna fit all this into my schedule, working out, doing all that, man. I've been kind of taking a break from gaming, watching a lot more shows lately, but yeah, I want to try all of this. I'm getting these comparisons up because Gears is out first. When Helldivers gets up, you know I'm doing that. If there's going to be anything about salt farming, that's all coming up. So yeah, if I get on Gears, man, you know, y'all hit me up. I'll let y'all know. You know what I mean? But I don't have my Game Pass active, and I'm not paying $40 for that game. No, I'd rather buy something I haven't experienced before. But if I do get my Game Pass up, yeah, you know, I'll hit up some people. I don't care. Uh, I don't know when that's going to happen though. So. But let's get into this. This is going to be funny.
Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here, and this is my brutally honest review for Gears of War Reloaded on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Because yes, it's extremely weird to think about, but even as a person that's been playing now Gears of War for 20 years, a series that's so synonymous with Xbox quality, it's now on the PlayStation 5. But I want to talk about this version of it, the goods and the bads, because honestly, the thing I think the most people are going to have trouble acclimating to is honestly how dang fast it is. But let me break it down. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, to start with, what is Gears of War Reloaded specifically? So this is technically a remaster of a remake. You see, 10 years ago, there was this special edition called Gears of War Ultimate, where they went back and completely reconstructed, rebuilt the original Gears of War. And that version was already very, very good. They took that and further optimized it, further upgraded it. This entire game runs at 4K, 60 FPS, and in multiplayer, it is 120 frames per second. It is insane to see in action, but
it's so funny to me because this is a different type of energy when it's on PlayStation and it's on the PS5 Pro because the Xbox can't do that. It's just so funny to me. I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it and it's just too funny to me. I mean, I'm glad he's enjoying this. You know what I mean? I'm so glad for PlayStation gamers. It's mostly about this. I mean, that's what it's about. And then, like I said a while ago, spanking PlayStation players. Don't worry, we're going to get to that one day. I haven't forgotten about that, but I just didn't know these many damn games will be around Gears that I haven't got to get to or play. It's just insane. And I still have a lot of stuff on my Switch to beat too. But I eventually am. I have to get to this. You know what I mean? I have to see how it is. So that's definitely happening. It's going to be on Game Pass though. Just letting y'all know. I'm not paying for this on PlayStation. I'd rather spend my money on those other games. You see what I'm saying? There's too many of them.
Let's face it, part of the fun of this is also the fact that when you play it, this also includes every map, every piece of DLC, every skin, every gun, everything.
Just I didn't know that.
Instantly unlocked the second you boot it up. And I gotta say that, honestly, the multiplayer of it, that's perhaps where I have the most fear about it. Let's start by talking about that multiplayer action.
That's the biggest problem,
This is the thing I enjoyed the most about the original Gears of War. This is what got a lot of people addicted to Gears of War, but it's also the
gridlock, throwing the melee, shotgun battle, let's go. We would do it for hours back in the days, and then there were some snipers that hated shotgun battling. Pick up the sniper, right? All right, let's go to Canals. Canals was the sniper ground for some reason. That's where everybody wanted to go to snipe. So we would have sniper wars as well. There was different ways to like show that you were good at Gears. It wasn't just about one weapon. It was about if I pick up any weapon, I'm deadly with it. You know what I mean? Even that little meekly bolt talk that was way better than the other ones. And then, you know, if you see somebody pick up the hammer of dawn or pick up the torque bow, you know what I mean? They're deadly with it. Same thing with me. You know what I mean? It's not just about that. And the best players I've ever ran into, believe it or not, were Lancers, man. They were so good. They had every corner on the map. Like these were freaking MLG players. They had every corner on the map just cornered. And they did incredible teamwork. And it was so, you just get mad because they didn't do any shotguns. It was all lancering you down and active reloading. It's annoying, man. Like, believe it or not, that was my hardest competition I've ever faced when I was like really doing it back in the days.
the part that I think I'm the most concerned that people just can't handle it. You see, Gears of War is a game that has almost a very separate language. And it's not just because the weapons are so specific, from the torque bow hitting people with explosive arrows or the hammer of dawn calling down a very slow laser from space. Each of the weapons in this, they're not just difficult to use, they're difficult to learn. Now, once you learn them, they're incredibly fun, but I'm almost kind of afraid about the fact that a lot of PlayStation people, this game has a very big learning curve, specifically because of the pace of it. Now, this is 100% true. Every Gears of War game, I've beaten all of them on the hardest difficulty. I found every collectible. The first HD TV I ever bought, actually, is because of Gears of War. This is the fastest it's
Josh, if you're watching this, don't you do it.
Ever been. The original Gears of War is the fastest one they ever did. Each game, they've tuned the speed a little bit different, making some of them much, much slower, some of them making them in between. This is incredibly fast. Everybody runs quick, reloads quick, shoots quick. So this isn't just reaction time. A lot of this game feels like it's about instinct, about figuring out how perfectly to respond to somebody jumping in your face with a shotgun ready to go, right? But I gotta say that this
How many of y'all in the comments would like to be in a match with DreamcastGuy? By the way, he said he's pretty good at the game. Seems like he is. He's beating on the hardest difficulties. This would be hilarious if we could all get in a match with DreamcastGuy and just play some Gears. Of course, we all got to warm up. I haven't played it in years, but I would definitely be down with all that type of stuff. If I get into it, like I feel like, okay, I actually still like it like I used to. I'll get on it, you know what I mean? But if I don't feel the same, I'm just going to go to some other games. But I at least got to give it a try, you know what I mean? Because he's hyping it up a bit too. It's looking cool, you know what I mean? I like what I see.
Multiplayer still feels incredibly good.
There's so much time to the series.
Crossplay on or off, but my singular concern about this is, even as a person that very much loves the multiplayer, that is having a blast butchering everybody, especially people that definitely don't know the buttons yet, I think that...
Y'all, DreamcastGuy said he's melting. You're not ready for him.
My singular concern is that this is one of those fan bases that is incredibly
hardcore.
Like the most primo dedicated fan base of all Xbox games has been Gears of War, because
that's what I loved about it.
This is a game that has basically an infinite skill ceiling. You can take literally the rest of your life learning how to perfectly pixel shoot.
Also, too, I don't know if you guys knew the #1 player in Gears back then, or I've played against before. He had a guy named John Doe too. His name was Terry15. I told you about that guy. He's the one that helped me get #1 in Unreal Tournament 3 with the skateboard or whatever. Let's see if they still got him around. But Terry15, he won everything. He was monster one-on-one. Let's see, Terry. See if they're still around. Terry15, Gears of War, #1. I wonder if he's still around. This guy was good at everything. Terry15, Gears of War, #1. Seriously, though. Terry15, Gears of War, #1 player in the world. Let me see if they still have it. I know this guy. I'm telling you. Search results show no evidence. Named Terry was ranked on the world. In fact, they like to use this card based on misinformation. This is bullshit. Terry15 is not recognized as Gears of War player. The search results do not mention a perfect. That's insane because he was. That's crazy, man. All that stuff got erased. Damn. See, that's why you got to have your achievements, man. That guy was #1 all the time. He dominated everything in Gears 1 back in the days of 360 days, all over the leaderboards. Yeah, well, I didn't say I was. He was. I was in Gears 2, Warzone.
Online, you are going to run into people that kill the entire lobby, and you basically never even get a shot off. Now, personally, I'm obviously much better than the average person. I can kill most people I run into, but I am a bit concerned about the fact that all the people that are trying to learn, it's gonna be a rough time. I almost wish there was some sort of way to like register accounts, like either skill-based matchmaking or some sort of noob bracket, like some sort of way where people with fresh accounts for their first 100 games, they can all fight against each other or something like that. Because honestly, I do think that most players coming into this, you are gonna get brutally butchered for 50 games in a row before you even learn what your buttons are. And to some people, they're going to kind of flunk out. Okay, so I've talked about that. One thing that's cool about that...
I think that thank God that they put it on PlayStation 5, but there's still going to be a tank because there's just so many games consistently coming out. For the PlayStation base, this is new. I think the PlayStation base is going to be the best life support for Gears. Whereas like everybody else, like, oh, we already had that. We're just here for the ponies. You know what I mean? Because everybody on Xbox has already been at each other on Xbox. This is a whole new opening up. And there's still that little console war going on. That was originally why I really wanted to get on it, just to see. But I don't know, man. I'm more interested in all these other games coming out. It's just hard for me to want to focus on this, but I do want to play it, though. I just don't know when the hell I want to do it. What the hell would I be playing first coming out? I don't know. Either Lost Soul Aside. Well, I already own Kirby, so I just got the DLC. I don't even know what the hell I want to play yet, y'all. And I haven't even pre-ordered Metal Gear.
This I have to admit is that
really
there
want to
are
play
a lot
that
of
too.
original DLC maps that honestly I feel like did not get enough play back in the day. There are actually 19 total maps in this, and all of them are drastically different, from blown out hotels or crazy stuff like train stations where the train goes past and butchers people. It's cool to see all 19 maps in this. I'm honestly very, very happy with the multiplayer. Personally, it is 10 out of 10 perfect, but it does kind of make me wish we had the other Gears of War games. Let me get into that in a second. Let's talk about the campaign. So the campaign, I've always been a big defender of the story of the Gears of War games because, yeah, they're clunky. Yeah, everybody's built like freaking gorillas and stuff like that. But I've always kind of appreciated the fact that, honestly, the silliness, I think, is on purpose. You see, I've read all the Gears of War books, the Gears of War comics, and I think that even when they are trying to be dark and serious, there is an interesting style of dark humor to it that is fantastic. And honestly, seeing it now in 4K.
It's funny though, this is actually a good review by DreamcastGuy. He actually is not like making up anything, but I wonder why, because it's for the PS5 Pro, right?
4K, it still ages and looks incredibly good. You see, in these games, we're playing as Marcus Phoenix. He's a guy who has been in prison now for a very long time for some accidental war crimes, which we all do occasionally, but then he gets busted out by his best friend, Dom. Essentially, things have gone bad. The human race has been going to war against this species called the Locusts. There's this planet called Sarah, and 14 years ago, these creatures started to burst up out of the ground. They call it E-Day. On one day, they started literally just popping up, sinking cities, killing everybody. Very little of the population even exists. The only people that managed to live are the people that really did just pick up arms and start fighting back. The beginning of the big E-Day Wars. Now, Marcus, they need him. They've pardoned everybody. You're allowed to leave jail. As long as you're willing to fight, screw it. We're not going to have guards in the prisons. Everybody just needs to fight. Everybody is about to die. And I gotta say that, of course, the later games did better at the writing, at the camaraderie of these different companions. But even this first game, I really like how the dialogue goes. All the different people we run into, from Kim to Cole to Carmine to, of course, the great relationship between Dom and Marcus. I like seeing how they interact, how they defy authority, how they really trash talk and fight and scream while they're chainsawing locusts and stuff like that. But even more than that, it just looks gnarly, right? I mean, one of the reasons I originally played Gears of War, just being brutally honest here, the reason I originally bought it as a kid is that it wasn't that it had this riveting tale to rival Final Fantasy. It's because I wanted to blow up locusts in HD, right? To splatter.
I thought it was going to be the next Unreal Tournament. Cliff Bleszinski was the one who was behind all this, by the way, but he didn't end up making the next Unreal Tournament. He turned it into Gears of War. I don't know if a lot of people knew that. They ended up making that other Unreal Tournament I was telling people about. I was like, it wasn't as good as the other Unreal Tournament, so not even close. And I was playing a lot of that before Gears. I've always liked Cliff Bleszinski's games, but then he left with Epic, and then they gave it to Coalition, and he went to make that, what was that game? Something Divers or whatever. Didn't end up working out well because he tried to compete with Overwatch. Yeah. Oh, Lawbreakers. I think that was the name of the game. And yeah, I just wish that Microsoft would allow him to come back because he does such a good job when it comes to stuff like this. But they just don't.
Paint all over the place. And so
we'd like them to work on the next Gears.
It's also crazy to me that something I think that just kind of gets undersold. I love the PlayStation 5 controller. The little speaker, like PlayStation 4 had this as well. There's a lot of times where people talk to you on the comms. This exists in all the Gears of War games, and typically it plays the TV, right? But now the action is on the TV, but your phone calls come through the headset. They come through this little like speaker, and it sounds great. I actually think it makes a lot of those moments where you're supposed to like look around and somebody's calling you saying, "Hey, the helicopter's trying to land." Those.
Yeah, look around, of course. Let me know what you guys think about this. Of course, this was mainly about just seeing why DreamcastGuy is so excited for Gears of War on PlayStation 5 Pro. When it's like, but you did have PC, right? I'm just saying, kind of funny, isn't it? There's a lot of other games. I would think he'd be talking about Helldivers and everything else too, but he's not saying anything about that. But let me know what you guys think about this, all right? This is about what Sony's getting. Later, y'all.